Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, all subscribers, lovers of chemistry, and amazing people out there. On today's episode of Question for the Day, we have a question that has to do with the general gas equation. So let's go into details and let's see if we can do justice to this question on the screen right now. The question says a gas occupies a volume of 250 cm cube at a pressure of 1 atmosphere and a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. What would be its volume at a pressure of 1.5 atmosphere and a temperature of 87 degrees Celsius? So let's do this question by taking each step one after the other. First things first, we want to list out all the variables so we can know what we're looking for. So they started off by telling us that the gas occupies a volume of 250 cm cube. So the initial volume, which is V1, is 250 cm cube. And then the next thing they told us is that it had a pressure of 1 atmosphere. So the initial pressure, or P1, is 1 atmosphere, 1 atm, and a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. So the initial temperature T1 is 27 degrees Celsius. Now, when we're dealing with gas laws and the questions that pertain to them, we do not use our temperature when it is measured in degrees Celsius. We use our temperature rather when it is measured in degree Kelvin. And to convert from degrees Celsius to degree Kelvin, what we do is simply to add 273. So therefore we have 27 plus 273, that gives us 300 degree Kelvin. So now we have our initial temperature. The question that is being asked of us right now is, what will be its volume? In other words, what is the final volume? So V2 is unknown. That is what we're being asked to look for at a pressure of 1.5 atmosphere. So the final pressure, or P2, is now 1.5 atmospheres and a temperature of 87 degrees Celsius. So T2 is equal to 87 degrees Celsius. Of course, we have to convert this as well to degree Kelvin. To do that, we simply say 87 plus 273. So if we punch our calculators real quick and say 87 plus 273, that gives us a figure of 360 degree Kelvin. So now that we have our variables, the equation that will solve this question is the combined gas equation, because this has pressure, volume, and temperature all inside one question. So the combined gas equation says P1 multiplied by V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2 multiplied by V2 divided by T2. So let's go ahead and impute all our variables and see if we can do justice to this question. So for P1, that is 1 atmosphere, multiplied by V1. V1 is 250 divided by T1. T1 is 300. This is equal to P2. P2 is 1.5 multiplied by V2, which is unknown, divided by T2. T2 is 360. So at this point now, we can cross multiply. When we do that, it becomes 1 times 250 multiplied by 360 is equal to 300 multiplied by 1.5 times V2. So let's do a bit of math now. 1 multiplied by 250 multiplied by 360. That gives us 90,000. So we have 90,000 on the left hand side. This is equal to 300 multiplied by 1.5. 1.5 multiplied by 300 gives us 450 V2. So we simply divide both sides by the coefficient of V2 in order to get V2, which is 450. This cancels this. So V2 now is equal to 90,000 divided by 450. When we say 90,000 divided by 450, it gives us 200. Now, what is the unit? Remember, we're dealing with volume, and volume in this case was measured in cm cube. So we have 200 cm cube as our final answer. So over here, we can just come here to identify it to be 200 cm cube. I'm sure you saw how every step was taken. So for questions that involve volume, temperature, and pressure, we use the combined gas equation. Thank you for staying around till the end of this video. I'd like you to please like it, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell icon so when more videos like this come out, you'd be the first to be notified. Until I come your way next time with another episode on Question for the Day, my name is David, and all I do here is to take the mystery out of chemistry so chemi can make history.